Okay, hi. I am back again, apparently. Um, Inconsistency. Sorry. Um, but it's sort of echoey and very much more empty because tomorrow people come to our house and pack all of it up. So, I don't know. And then we have to do our 5-day road trip up to the place we're going, which I am not going to say just because, like, I don't know, there's creepy people online, okay? I'm not saying you're one of them, but there are creepy people online, so I just have to be careful. There is absolutely nothing, there's no blankets or anything on my bed. Like, usually there'd be some sort of stuffed animals or blankets or something. There's nothing, and it bothers me. So, yeah. But I will say the state I'm going to, you can get your driver's permit at 14, which I turn 14 later this year, and you can also get a job. So I've been studying. I have some flashcards. I'm only like 2 pages into the driver's manual for that state. And I'm also learning Greek, so I have all the letters on flashcards so I can memorize their sounds and what they look like. Am I the best at writing them? Absolutely not, but I'm gonna get better. And then I have a whole other stack of flashcards. They're blank. And I actually, so a lot of my really close friends got into My Hero Academia, so I'm like, hey, why not? I'll watch it. And I'm on, let's see, season 2, episode 14. So yeah, and I got new glasses, but they're like, I can see. So I'm gonna take them off. And also, I usually don't wear hats because they don't ever look good on me. But this specific shape does. It's sort of more boxy or something. I don't know, but yeah. And I sort of refreshed my haircut a little bit, so my bangs. And I was in the water swimming earlier today and yesterday and the day before that because I have a camp where you're in the water like all day every day. So my hair decided to be more wavy, and that's awesome. But tonight is my last night in this house. Last night. So yeah, you can see my little flower buddy in the background, and my little Demogorgon over there. Yeah. As well as my Eevee, but you can't really see her, but she's a little metallic Eevee. And she was on sale at Walmart, and I was like, yes! Because, fun fact, Eevee is my favorite Pokemon, okay? And her Eeveelutions has been since I was a kid. So, well, like, much younger. So, yeah. And I have my stuff over there that I'm taking with me, not being packed. And then otherwise, it's just sort of all over the place. But yeah, I got new glasses, and they're really cute. They're like iridescent, and they're more wireframe, so they're not too heavy or too light on my face. They're like perfectly in the middle, and I attempted painting my nails. They have chipped a lot, but I can now, and I also have more movement in my yeah. So, all right. Last time you saw me, I was in a cast. I'm not anymore. Actually, I have 4 scars. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they're all healing up pretty nicely. And I am sunburned, so I'm peeling right here, and it looks sort of irritated. You can't see it as well as I can see it in person, but because you're on camera, and it's on my laptop camera, so it's not the best, but it's what I have. Scars are healing up amazing. I do have to do physical therapy, though, because I can't even lift 6 pounds with this arm. So that's great. I got my braces tightened. They're nice and straight versus when I was in 4th grade. The first time I got braces, I started out with a crossbite. So I'm assuming you know what that is, but for those of you who might not, so top 2 teeth, one of them was more in front, but at the bottom it was the other side was more in front and sort of crossed, and yeah, but now it's not, and I'm doing great, and I trimmed my hair a tiny bit, but it's grown back out a little bit. I think it's a tiny bit uneven, but whatever. And I got this hoodie from my grandma, Lake Tahoe from California. Yeah, she said she had too many hoodies, and I was like, oh, Well, I don't have enough hoodies. So, yeah. And, yeah, just updates and stuff. And another little thing that I feel like you should know, because friend group drama and stuff like that, okay, because some of it is insane, but also not really. Okay, so my one friend, we're gonna call them E, okay, was dating this other kid named L. We're calling them. I'm just using the first letter of their first name. Okay, and E had liked L like the entire school year. I was the first to know, because duh. Okay, and L for a while had dated another kid named O in my grade. Alright. But then at the end of it, they sort of got in like a little bit of an argument because L had admitted that he somehow liked both me and E, and I was like, no thank you, no thank you. This is a little weird, it's a little sketchy, no thank you. I think the main reason was because the three of us had every class together, and I mean every class, okay? So that was fun, and I was like, no, thank you. But then a couple days later, well, first off, Elvis said, "Oh yeah, I'm planning to break up with O, blah blah blah." Because there was also an April Fool's prank involved, where O on April Fool's Day said, "Oh yeah, I'm not doing an April Fool's prank today. I'm doing it later in the week, just letting you know." And I was like, I mean, weird, but okay. But I was like, yeah, that's fine. Essentially, that's yeah, okay. And then later in the week, after April Fool's, O did an April Fool's prank on L, and it was like, oh my goodness, I'm definitely straight, because O and L, both guys. Okay, putting that out there. And everybody's laughing along. Like even O was laughing. You could tell that he was lying. And it was a joke. It was fun. Okay, but then L just sort of started to like put his head down, took off his glasses, and started crying. And we were all sort of sitting there awkward, like, what do we do in this situation, right? So later on, eventually, and we're back to L just admitted this in the field behind our school during science, because we have multiple fields in our school, but we don't have a gym. So sometimes we just get to. Our teachers are like, "Do you guys want to go outside?" So we're like, "Yes, we want to go outside," and we just hang out in the fields and we just run around and talk. Sometimes we play like kickball or something, or tag occasionally. Sorry, there's something on my phone. And so we were in the field behind our science classroom, because and Elle had admitted all of that, and so we ran back to the rest of our friend group, which it consists of my best friend C, and another girl M, as well as my best friend's boyfriend G. Yeah, that's all I can remember from that group who was there at the time. I think, yeah. And E wasn't with us because I was like, oh, because L had been like, oh yeah, I like two people, and it's not all, or one of them's not O, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to know, because I need to know the tea, okay? Do I like spilling it? Only to my best friend. Only to her. Okay. But otherwise, I don't really, like, at all, unless I have permission, because, anyway, so I run back to the rest of the group, and people are like, "So who does L like? Who does L like?" I'm like, "That's a story. Me and E." And everybody's like, "What? What? What is happening?" And I'm like, "Yeah, so, yeah." And then so a couple days later, so that was on a Friday. Over the weekend, O found out about L's plan to break up with him, and so O became pretty upset and stopped sitting with our lunch table, because usually O and Lucas O and L, sorry. I occasionally almost keep saying their actual names, so. But O and L usually sit across from each other at the lunch table, right? But O had moved to a different friend group stable, which is fine because I'm also technically in that friend group, but L doesn't like that friend group because L had like a falling out with the people there because L is not the best person at all. Okay, we'll say that. Okay, and so we're at lunch and we're all sitting there. Okay, O's not here. That's fine. Whatever. Not much drama. Except technically there was, but it's pretty calm for my friend group. Though the whole thing itself was a pretty drama-ish thing. And so then later in that week, O continued to not sit with our table. And then on Wednesday, on the way to lunch, while L and O were still dating, still together, they hadn't officially broken up. They were just sort of like separated, not really talking to each other, but they hadn't officially broken up. Key part, okay? E and L decided to officially start dating. Like, sir, it's not really ethical, I guess you could say. Okay, so, yeah, and everybody found out later that week after L and O had broken up, like, that next Friday, like, oh, you and E started dating before you and O broke up? That's a little weird, okay. So, yeah, we had that whole drama, and there's more to it. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I just spelled all that, and just, well, I can't remember. I just know it was dramatic. And our friend group almost, like, fell apart, which we sort of, like, removed L from our group chat with everybody in it, so, But I mean, later that year, after like a month or two after that big piece of drama, I had gotten a girlfriend. Surprise, surprise. I feel like it's sort of thing you could. I don't know. I try to sort of give off that vibe-ish. Okay, but I'm bi. All right. And so I had a girlfriend at the time, and so I was sitting next to her at lunch, and then L and E were sitting next to each other, and my ex-girlfriend's name also started with an E. Also starts with an E, so I don't. We're gonna call her B. Okay. So I was sitting next to B. E was in front of me, and L was in front of B, and next to E. Okay. And so we were all chatting, and then L. I don't know. I don't remember who exactly, but somebody. Oh, at the start, it was jokingly brought up a poly relationship. Hello, okay. We're not. Oh, y'all aren't even teenagers yet. I'm still 13 now. But essentially everybody else in that group, besides my ex, was 12. So, little weird there, buddy. Little weird. Okay, and essentially, B and L were like, yeah, sure, why not, Oh shoot, I forgot one major detail. E wasn't there at that day. It was E's birthday, so E wasn't there. They were out of town and didn't know this was happening. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay then, okay then. But long story short, E, after finding out that L had tried to do that, tried to break up with him, but it didn't work because they managed to work things out. And not even like 1.5 weeks ago, for E to come to the realization, mostly because L was a dry and horrible texter, that, oh my goodness, I shouldn't be with him. I don't even know why I'm with him. To just break up with him. What? Anyway, I will have to give more updates later, because it is 8:42. I usually don't edit my videos, so you're just getting raw footage again. Okay, if I don't like something, I literally don't do anything. I just retake it all, which I haven't had to do, okay? I've literally just been sitting here chatting for 15 minutes. So, yeah, I'll see you all soon. And yes, I didn't do my intro. It's been a little bit. I kind of forgot it, so I'm gonna have to look back and see what it is again. But, see you later. Bye bye.